Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you for giving my video a try, at least. What I like to go ahead and forewarn you, the video in this episode, it just cuts out at some point. It did this like twice. So I'd like to go ahead and extend this apology because you're going to see video up until a certain point, and then from there, it just depends on how I edit the video. But like I said, I'd like to extend this apology. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Thank you so much for giving me a try. Hopefully, the audio will be good enough to convince you to stay. And as I get better with the video, I'll be much more aware of what's going on. But like I said, a little bit of a mishap, and we'll do better. We'll do better. That's all we can do from this point. So once again, thank you for clicking on the video. Let's get the show started. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to my channel. Please, before we get the video started, do not hesitate. Hit that subscribe button down below and drop me a like if you really feeling my stuff. I do appreciate you all coming and finding me. Hey, let's have some fun today. All right, y'all. All right. Calm down. Daddy's home. Okay, so I'm a little late. Let's go ahead and throw that out there. I'm almost 3 weeks late. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's been really tricky trying to, make sure I get this out there to y'all. It's been a little on the tricky side trying to find the time to record within the last 2 weeks. Hell, we got another hurricane that's about to come kick our ass. So you know how much fun that is. But with that being said, a piece of me thought about just pushing this shit off till, the next time I try to record. I prefer recording on Sundays, but here I am, early Tuesday morning, about 5:30, trying to make sure I get this content out here to y'all. And this just goes to show, how much, we try to push things off, or at least myself. I be trying to procrastinate, and, these are one of those things that you got to just combat. Like, yo, man, I had to, get that mental fortitude. So here we are, early in the morning, and as you can see, I went from, struggle beardish cage to babyface cage. The sacrifices we make for love. So my wife and I had to, we decided to take pictures for our anniversary coming up in November, and I was like, yo, let me go ahead and make a couple corrections. Dog, the second I left the barbershop, all I keep doing is missing my beard. I keep stroking my ghost beard for some fucking reason. Hey, look, man. It was a struggle beard, but it was my struggle beard, goddammit. It was mine. I need to go get that shit back. Yo, somebody go give me a new job so I can grow me a beard. Look, I'm tired of playing. I'm tired of being childish cage. I'm a grown man now. I'm a man. So, real quick, man, how have y'all been? How has y'all's past 2 weeks been? Because mine have been boring. It's been really, really low key. There's been a whole bunch of stuff going on. Whole bunch of manga chapters, whole bunch of actually, I can't really say it's been boring. It's just been hard to keep track of. I'll say that. So we're just gonna fly off the fucking seat of our handle. We're gonna give it the best shot that we got. Honestly, if we're gonna speak from a TV show movie perspective, I haven't done I haven't gone out to anything new that's not anime related right now. So let's talk about a couple Halloween things real quick. Halloween things real quick. See, I wish I could snap and just get spooky or whatever the fuck that shit was, but it is what it is. Yo, so my wife and I have been trying to every day after work, we try to find something Halloween related, something monsters, horror, all types of shit like that. And me being the grown man that I am, I got on motherfucking Google so goddamn quick, and I just started looking up old Halloween shows of different TV shows. So I found Kim Possible, Phil of the Future. I found Goosebumps on Netflix, the old 90s show with the terrible CGI. The first thing we watched was the episode where the little girl puts a mask on her face that's just ugly as shit and it becomes her face. Stuff like that. Just trying to relive that childhood Halloween era type of thing. Because my wife and I don't feel like paying for fucking cable. We got Netflix, Hulu, we got the works like that. Even HBO Max. And then let me go ahead and get to this. I'm gonna get to this movie, and then I'm gonna go to the TV shows. I decided to be a man, right? Man, strong man, and I watched Alien all by myself in broad daylight. when I should have been taking a nap. Like literally in my set nap time on Saturdays, which is around like the afternoon, I said, nah, I'm gonna be a man and I'm gonna watch Alien. And it was a really good movie. Like I've heard how good it is. I've seen other people speak highly of it. I knew what was gonna happen. I know that Sigourney Weaver is the last one standing. I just don't know how, and I don't know who else is involved. I even knew that there was an android on board because that's been like the typical thing to have for alien movies, where they find out that one of them was an android or some shit like that. But like, yo, if I'm way the fuck off, please don't hesitate to like correct me. Let me know. Just don't be a dickhead about it, right? So watching Alien and like, yo, man, I can't help but love this crew. Like somebody put it. I can't remember who said it this way. It was in a movie review on YouTube, but they said like, just think of the cast as a bunch of fucking space truck drivers that only cared about being paid. And when I tell you that boy Parker, that main Parker was literally my fucking spirit animal until he died, because all he cared about, like, yo man, if I'm doing all this extra work, at least give me the extra pay for it. That's all I care about. I got you, I fucking got you, bro. And it wasn't until the way he died, man. Look, not some of the deaths pissed me off, but I'm not gonna lie. Brett, I think that's his name. It was Brett. He's the dude that went looking for the cat. Fuck that fucking cat. I don't give a fuck about that goddamn cat. I'm sorry to all the cat lovers. I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just saying, if my fucking captain of the ship literally just had an alien burst out of his fucking chest, and y'all tell me to go look for the motherfucker, no, I'm not finna break up to go look for a fucking cat. That's how you die. And guess who died? Coincidence? Nah, we don't think so around these parts. And then let's go ahead and just keep pushing on the death train. So he died like that. Dallas, respect to him, because we've all been there. As somebody who has had shitty technology, no matter at what point in time, failed them. Rest his soul. Yo, the way that Dallas went out, I'm not gonna lie, man, that shit got me. I jumped and everything. I was already like, so when I watch horror movies, if I'm in the movie theater, I start off in this position right here. This right here is level 1, where I'm just covering up half my face. Level 2, I go to this half of my face. And then, level 3, I still got the eyes open. Level 4, I just try to go to sleep. Look, level 4, I just say fuck it and just try to go to sleep. I don't do well in movie theaters because like it's the sensory overload. When the music starts swelling up, the atmosphere, the tone, all that shit start hitting all at once. Cage is done. Like, yo, I'm grown man Cage, but I'm grown man in an uncomfortable situation Cage, and it don't work out too well. So let's not deal with that, but continuing on with Alien, the movie was really good. I got to get to the way Parker died, because the way Parker died, Cage completely disagreed with. So it's already established earlier in the movie that Lambert is uncomfortable. She was like the one that was uncomfortable when they went up into like the fucking ship on the moon or wherever the fuck it was, and she was the first one ready to leave. When they got back and they saw what the fucking alien did to their captain, she was already freaking the fuck out being stuck in the ship with that bitch. So it's the fact that like when Parker and Lambert had to go get some stuff so they could get the fuck off the ship. Like Lambert, they literally got like 10 feet of space between them, and the alien just drops down, stands up, and he's like, "What's good?" And this yo, bless her heart, Lambert, I understand. She got scared. She couldn't move. She was frozen. Parker had the incinerator locked and ready to go. All you had to do was move 4 feet to the left or the right, your choice. And she didn't want to move. Yo. Shit. Bless his heart, because I don't know, for some reason, this boy, Parker really thought, yo, man, now's the time for me to go ahead and save this life. And he said, I'm going to go German suplex a fucking alien. Man, look, I would have said, sucks. Like, lit that bitch off real quick. I'm sorry. Yo, man. Sacrifices, because like, yo, that thing is big as shit. I don't know how fire works, obviously, but if I'm lighting something that's big as shit up, like say one of these big ass lights that I got on top of me and its back is to me, I'm gonna light that bitch up, light it up, and it should just hit that, unless like it's the extra flames that he was worried about. Cage don't know science. Fuck it. Do I look like I went to school? Nah, don't answer that question. Don't. Yo, so Watched Alien. Alien was really good. I went ahead and found Aliens on HBO Max. I'm gonna try to watch that. I might watch that tonight. Might. We'll see how I feel after work and after basketball. Yo, so let me get to the TV shows. So another show that we ended up watching was a show called Monsterland on Hulu. I gave that shit a smooth 4 episodes. I think I gave it 4 episodes. So any TV show I watch, I try to give it my anime the same rules I apply to anime. You got to catch my attention first in the first episode. You have to then retain my attention between the first, for the first 3 or 4 episodes. That's the way that I am. The day I stop stuttering. So, if you can't retain my attention within that time span, guess what? That show ain't for me. And when I tell you that show could, it would have my attention for the first 35 minutes because it's hour long. First 35 minutes, I'll fall asleep by the end of almost every single episode. And, I don't want to say the first episode didn't even have shit to do with monsters. The show marketed monsters and have shit to do with monsters. I guess the mom was fucked up. The whole episode was about the mom being pissed off that, her daughter was a child, a rambunctious child. So she dropped that bitch off by the end of the episode. And I guess there was face stealers or whatever. I don't fucking know. The only episode that made me uncomfortable or anything, and this is why I say look, my attention span was so short, so I was tired and I fell asleep early in the episode. And this is the episode with the kid from Ozark, the one that's fucking Ms. Langmore, bless his heart. So he's I don't know what the fucking situation was. All I know is when I woke up, a fucking shadow was just staring at him in the fucking corner of the room, and that shit was as clear as goddamn daylight. And from my experience, that fucked me up. That made me jump. I wasn't ready for it. So I'm gonna go ahead, before I jump into a whole nother segue, let me go ahead and finish the Monsterland thing because I only got through 4 episodes. I think the next episode I watched, or maybe it was 3, the next episode I watched took place in New Orleans, and this one was so fucking all over the place because I really couldn't tell what was going on. Somebody way smarter than me, do not hesitate to let me know what the hell went on, because in the 3rd episode, it was set in New Orleans, and I guess the lady was married to this man. The man turned out to be a rapist, and I'm about to say all his victims started coming out and exposing him. And while all that's going on, there's a dude outside with a trumpet, I guess a demon monster, whatever the fuck it is, outside with a trumpet that's stalking the wife. And the wife is trying to get rid of him, asks him to leave. He attacks her, so she tries to hide from him, and all she hears is the trumpet blaring out the windows when she goes back in the house. So she stabs herself in the ears to stop hearing it, and then she still ends up hearing the trumpet anyway. So by the end of the episode, she allows the trumpet to take her I guess Piper her down to fucking French Quarter, wherever the fuck they were, and a whole marching band comes out and they eat her by the end of the episode. And I'm sitting there thinking the one episode I stay awake and I don't know what the fuck is going on still to this, what the hell just happened here? Yo, so what the fuck did anything in the first 30 minutes of the episode have to do with anything in the last 30 minutes? Somebody way smarter than me in the comment section, please communicate. You can give me one of them long ass paragraphs. You know how much I crave interaction. Just be nice to me. I'm new at this. Please be nice. Yo. So that was Monsterland. So the reason why I did want to just completely segue into the next one is because it kind of has to do with another TV show. I didn't watch this Halloween season, but I saw previously. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but it was a show that was called Haunted, where it was a documentary format type of show where people would just sit down and they would just talk about the stories of them being haunted by something. And I don't know if anybody has heard this terminology before. This is a terminology I've heard here in the South called being witch road. And the actual term for it is sleep paralysis. That's not how it feels. That shit right there. If there is, man, look, that's the scariest shit I have ever felt in my life. When you just wake up, your mind's awake, but your body can't move, and you're just stuck there. The last time that shit happened to me, it was something just was sitting on my chest, and all I felt was like something just crawl up my spine, like while that happened. That was like when I was in the that was when I was a senior in high school. The actual last time that shit happened to me was when I was at Jacksonville, Florida. I was living in Florida at the time. Well, I'm in Florida, but I was living in Jacksonville, Florida at the time. And I just remember fucking, this is how creepy it was. So it just activated. I don't know how. I was getting good sleep before that, and it just came over, and I couldn't move. I was freaking out. I was hyperventilating. And then all I felt was just something just slowly just sit up right here and look at me. And just stared at me the whole time. That motherfucker just like watched me right there, struggle to breathe, struggle to move, all that, and just watch me. And then after fucking torturing me like that for like it felt like an hour, like it just released. And man, I was fucked up off of that. I was so fucking scared after some shit like that. Whew. Look, I say I'm trying not to relive that. If I was to go back to sleep tonight or anything like that, I ain't finna go back to sleep after remembering that shit. But that was my experience being Witch Road. I haven't seen Haunted in so long, but I do remember there was an episode where somebody described something similar to that. And then, it's always nice to not be the only one going through something shitty like that. So another Halloween show that I remember watching, especially a great one to watch around this time of year. I gotta remind you all, Stranger Things season 1. Stranger Things used to be scary. It used to be once upon a time. And that shit right there, I watched that shit when I was in Japan. Man, look, I don't know why, I had that perfect combination of, I can't stop watching, I need to know how the story ends. Why the fuck do I keep watching this show? Like, I was right in between that the entire time. And that's a good place to be when you watch a horror TV show. For some reason, I was like, yo, I gotta go back. I gotta watch another one. Because it's something about, like, I think it was between, like, the charisma, the chemistry of the kids, the writing of the show, and fuck. Look, this shit is, like, fucking with me. What the hell is that goddamn thing? Like, I need to know what the hell is going on here. And, yo, I gotta give it to that show. That shit really was scary. Because, like, yo, man, the way that the tension would build up, the music was swell. I think the scene that fucked me up the most was the one with the Christmas lights in the first season. That shit right there had me, look, my fucking heart sank. And whenever I get scared watching, like, horror movies, if it's a jump scare, like, it depends on the tier of the jump scare. Because I straight up did not watch Insidious. I heard Insidious at a watch party. I didn't watch Insidious because I'm smarter than that. Why the fuck am I about to fucking sit here and get scared in front of all these people? So I watched that shit like, at 10 degrees. So I couldn't see the movie, but I saw everybody else's reaction. I knew not to fucking watch it. But when it comes down to watching fucking Stranger Things, man, look, I was in there by myself. I had my handy dandy blanket covered up all over me, posted up, chilling like a motherfucking villain. And man, look, I made it through the first season. I knew whenever 11 was around, everybody was safe. Until the end, when 11 left. And then they weren't safe. But then she showed up. We know how it ends. It's like fucking 3 seasons out in total now. And the 4th one about to come out. I heard it's the last season, but we'll see how it plays out. I hope it's better than the previous 2. Because, the last 2, they weren't terrible. They just weren't, like, they're not the reason why I joined the show. I watch the show now because I just like my boy Dustin. Dustin and Steve are the best fucking characters in the show. You can't tell me those 2 ain't the motherfucking ones. So let's go ahead and push on. So I talked a little bit about some entertainment stuff. I got a little bit got to get the sports talk in because I actually had a good weekend for the first time. Not the 2 weekends ago, but the 1 weekend ago. So this previous weekend. My Philadelphia Eagles, pause for effect, won a game. I can't fucking believe it. That shit right there. Ooh-wee. Man, look. So, Philly 500 says this best. We have had a very, very weird relationship with the Giants for the last 8 years. We beat them. We beat the shit out of them on numerous occasions. We've beaten them, defeated them, all that fun stuff. But for some reason, the games always end weird, especially within the last year. The last 2 years, honestly. Like, I think the last 2 games we played against them, that shit has gone to the wire. And I just gotta say, I know I've been. I think I've been critical of Carson Wentz. This shows how I need to go back and watch this shit. But I have said it's hard for me to defend Carson Wentz when he's playing like this right now. God damn it, this grown man. I don't know what the hell happened. So a little bit of a jump cut's gonna have to go right here. So we're gonna edit that out. But the last thing I was saying was Jamon Brown literally let Carson left him to die so you can fix his sleeve. So obviously Philadelphia's offensive line has been giving them a whole lot of trouble. But it's I'm proud of them in the fact that they've been able to duke it out with the top tier teams in the NFL for right now. It's just the fact that they can't get over the hump and actually win the games, if you know what I mean. We're out of the hardest stretch of our season so far, but it's the fact that we're leading the NFC least. So, not a lot of respect's coming our way, but I think we are working towards the path to figuring it out. Now, the next issue is the fact that oh my God, my number one issue with the Eagles is Doug Peterson's play calling. That's my number one end-all be-all issue because I don't know what the fuck is going on. I truly don't know. I don't know why he doesn't I think he said that he doesn't want to hire an offensive coordinator because it's fun calling plays. And that's cool and everything, that's fine. Don't do that with the Eagles. No more. No bullshit, dog. Whenever Jalen Hurts is on the field, you know exactly what it's going to be. You know what it's going to be. I think he's thrown the ball once, but majority of the time he's going to run the ball. Every single person, every team knows that. That's why as soon as they put him in the game, the Giants literally snuffed that shit out almost fucking immediately. Doug Peterson's play calling, going for these 2-point conversions, and then, just doing a bunch of keeps, or he just doing a bunch of random bullshit, bro. In times where we need to be fucking running that bitch up the gut. We thought we were lost without Miles Sanders, but every time we think that Boston Scott comes out and he has a good game and he helps us, he gives us that spark, that energy that we need, and we damn near abandon the run. That shit, it's the decision making that does not make any sense to me, and I just be lost in the sauce. I might not have the most information on football, but damn, man, just some of the decisions that's made. Why are you making these decisions? Why? But I gotta say, I gotta go and throw it out there. Carson Wentz saves his job every time. Every time Carson Wentz drags the team to victory, it's like Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson are damn near on the same platter right now. And if Carson Wentz loses, then his name gets dragged in the mud. But if he wins, all right. So Carson Wentz, if he loses, him and Doug Peterson get drawn in the question. But if he wins, Carson Wentz is okay. Carson Wentz is safe for a week. Nobody says anything about Doug Peterson. No bullshit. None of the sports analysts or anything like that. I think Shannon Sharp maybe has said it one time, but it's the fact that this man, Doug Peterson, is literally haunting us. Dog, just hire a fucking offensive coordinator. That way you can focus on other things. No bullshit. I really don't know how the hierarchy works, but still, man, come on. Come the fuck on. So, I gotta say, before I keep ranting about it, it is Tuesday, but a win is a win. It happened on Thursday. A win is a win. And another win. The Eagles won without even playing. The Cowboys. Word to Uncle Shannon. The Cowboys went all the way to Washington to kick a field goal. Man, look, I really wouldn't speak too much about this game because I'm happy the Cowboys got that ass beat. I'm not happy that Andy Dalton got a cheap shot. He literally got fucking Jadeveon Clowney'd like Carson Wentz did when he was giving himself up and he still got fucking rocked. The big difference is the Cowboys didn't give a fuck. The team did not move. They didn't even look threatening at anybody. They just and then went on about their fucking day. They just went on about the game. Fuck that. Y'all really let y'all Cowboy y'all let y'all quarterback get rocked like that? Ooh, Cowboy fans. What's going on, man? Come on. Come in here. Come on. Hugs. Hugs all around. This is a safe space. You can come to Cage. You can come. Oh, man. Yeah, Eagles and Cowboys are trash right now. I actually prefer when we're both at the top of our game and then the arguments can get heated. When we're damn near the focus of the whole fucking NFL, it's pretty fun because when all the pressure's on you, you just want to see your team rise up. Oh yeah, that's where it gets fun. But it's always nice seeing the Cowboys lose. I just don't like to see players get hurt. It's the game of football. It's the fact that like some shit could be avoided. Now, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and push on another game that I watched. I watched the Buccaneers and Raiders game. Yo, Tom Brady is still a fucking problem, and the fact that the Patriots are like they don't seem to be doing too well without him. I haven't been able to watch a game. I heard Cam Newton had like 3 interceptions. That breaks my heart to hear because I really want to see him do well. But the fact that Tom Brady's out here balling with the Buccaneers, like they gave him the proper weapons that he needs. Oh yeah, that's a good sign. But I gotta say, shout out to the Raiders, because if the Raiders were in a fucking what is it, 3-2? I can't remember what their record is. They don't have a bad record at all. They really don't have a bad record. They look like it's a stark difference from the team that was there last year to where they're at now. And I think this is the first season in Las Vegas. So there's a huge shift in the team, and it might be because, you know, Derek Carr has better receivers. I can't believe I just said that shit. Derek Carr literally has Nelson Aguilar. And if you told me last year that Nelson Aguilar was going to be probably the best receiver on the Raiders, I'd call you a fucking liar. Because that motherfucker, oh my God, man, Nelson Aguilar refused. After 2017, he refused to be that great wide receiver that he was. Like, it'll be a ball from me to where the damn microphone is. He just won't put out his hands to try and catch it, or he won't be able to catch the ball and hold on to the ball. And there have been times where Carson will either throw it behind him or too far above him. All will find a good. There's been game-winning touchdowns that he could have caught that literally would be right in his hands. Right in his hands. To get paid as a professional to not catch the ball, that shit just, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, what else do you practice in your offseason as a wide receiver? I understand you work on your footwork, you work on your agility, you work on being able to take a hit, you work on having a block, all those different things. But I think the end all be all, the reason why they paid for you in the first place is your ability to get separation and catch the ball. That's what they need from you. And the fact that Nelson Aguilar has been balling out, like, this motherfucker's playing very, like, it's a stark difference how great he's been playing. But it's the fact that he's over here, he's getting the separation, he's catching tough catches, he's over here catching bombs from Derek Carr, and he could not do this with the Eagles the last 2 years. Like, yo, what the fuck was going on in our locker room to where Nelson Aguilar, Sidney Jones, and Rasul Douglas are playing out of their minds right now? I know there's only 3 players. But it's the fact that these were 3 players that were so heavily scrutinized by Philadelphia fans last season. Sidney Jones, I think, had he had injuries that he had to deal with, so I can understand that. But Rasul Douglas, we kept getting mad at him. I remember because he kept getting beat. And that just makes me think, like, okay, that's Jim Schwartz's scheme, not working for him as a player. Now he's in a better scheme or something that he's more comfortable with. Same thing with Sidney Jones. Now he's not, as injured as he was with us. Once again, if I'm wrong, I'm always open to be corrected. So please help me. Help. But I got to give it to the Eagles. I'm not going to stop talking about the Eagles on a positive, on a negative note. Got to talk about them on a positive note. I finished talking about it, but I got to say one more positive thing. I like our D-line. I like the fact that we got options. We have headhunters. We got motherfuckers that smell blood in the water, and they want that sack. I do appreciate that. But pushing forward, the next game that I caught, man, look, that shit, I really wasn't expecting it to be that great of a game. It was the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. And, man, I no shit thought it was going to be a blowout. For what I've seen of the Cardinals, they look like they'd be a good team in a different conference. The conference that they're in looked like it's too much for anybody. That's what it looked like to me. I didn't think that they would sustain. But I gotta say, that man Kyler Murphy's making me Kyler Murray. Let me get his name right. Put some respect on his name. The way that he's leading his team is making me a believer. I think it wasn't DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, I think it was Larry Fitzgerald that said it. He one of those receivers, a great receiver who is a veteran in the league, was giving a story about how he was getting chewed out by Kyler Murray. the fact that Kyler Murray is not afraid of holding teammates accountable right then and there for, missing assignments, missing blocks, just like not catching a ball, something like that. That shows me that he has he's verbal as a leader. He's not afraid of giving it to somebody. I don't know how he is about taking criticism. I don't know how he is about taking that criticism from those said teammates, because that's something that you're just not gonna see. But from the fact that how they won against the Seahawks, that showed me. Give it 2 or 3 more years, this kid's he's going to be an even bigger problem than what he is right now. I think he had 2 interceptions, but it's the fact that when the plays were supposed to be dead, he found a way to extend them. That dude is fucking fast. It really is amazing just watching all these athletic quarterbacks come out that can fucking sling the ball down the field, throw the ball in either overhead or sideways, and still get it to where they need to go. And if the play is blowing up, they can get the fuck out the pocket and still get the first down. 2017, I had that. Right now, it's a little hard to have that because Carson Wentz is, he's hearing footsteps. He ain't got the best protection. But back to Kyler Murray, that man right there, the some of the fucking throws, I got to give it to him because he either threw that shit on the money or he just he found a way to make it happen. And that's a sign of a great football player right there. Is just finding a way to make shit happen the way you need it to get your team where it needs to go. And I can't tell you how the Seahawks blew up. I really can't. I can't tell you who fucked up where and how they fucked up. Was it the fact that Russell Wilson didn't have good enough protection? Nah, man, Russell Wilson just threw a bunch of interceptions, and they looked like good throws. He's still a front runner for MVP to me. I think it was just he just didn't have a bad game for Russell Westbrook. Damn, I'm fucking up. Damn, I'm tired. I need to go to bed. But a bad game for Russell Wilson is still throwing over 300 yards, still getting over 50 yards in running as a quarterback. 3 touchdowns at the least, I think. And he still had a bad game. That's amazing. Overall, he's MVP right now. So we'll see how that continues to go along. I don't think that's going to bother the Seahawks too much because they went down swinging. Definitely went down swinging. The Cardinals tried to give them the game. When the Cardinals went for that fucking field goal in overtime with not 2 minutes, but they still had some time on the clock and it was only a second down. They went for a field goal. Why would you go for the kill when the Seahawks defense is obviously gassed? You and your running game is literally too much for them to handle right now. They had 3 runs back to back. They had at least 8 to 10 yards each. Yo, at that point, I'm fucking running up the gut and I'm just gonna make them. I'm gonna make you make that decision whether you want to win the game or not. Let the defense decide that. But they tried to give the game away, missing that field goal. Then the Seahawks just couldn't get down the field. And they miraculously, Cardinals came out with the win. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Because I didn't think you had it in you. I honestly did not think you had it in you. So, that's it for that's probably it for the sports talk. I'm still trying to get into college football. I really am trying to get into college football. There was fucking 6 games that were blowouts this weekend. So I'm gonna check again this weekend. I'm dwindling the list down, so I know because I'm from the South, born and raised. I gotta look at the SEC. I got my favorite basketball team is the Boston Celtics. Favorite football team is the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's nice to be a little bit closer to home with maybe a game to watch or something like that. I don't really have a lot of family members that are big into Alabama. My dad and my mom, I think, are both Ole Miss fans because they went there. But outside of that, I'm left in the wind because I didn't go to Ole Miss. So I'm all alone on this one. I had an old friend from high school. Shout out to Ashton. What's up, Drake? Yo, he was a huge LSU fan, and I understand. I think. Yeah, they won they won a bowl last year. I remember watching the game with Joe Burrows. I'm just not a huge fan. I just watch it because I like football. I miss football. I need that football in my life. And like I said before in the previous podcast, I hear how people prefer college because they feel like that the players are playing with much more intensity. Understand that when these blowout games happen, It just doesn't seem like a lot of intensity to me, at least. So, I'm gonna continue to stick it out. I am. I think another team that I'm really looking at, the Georgia Bulldogs. Me being from Memphis, I have a little connection to Atlanta because it's almost like a second home. Now, with that being said, my wife's grandpa is a huge Georgia Bulldogs fan. I'm gonna tell y'all another time my favorite story with him and the Georgia Bulldogs, but it's the fact that he is so big into Georgia Bulldogs. He won't talk to them worth a damn, but he'll talk to me about the Georgia Bulldogs. All right, bet. Now you about to make me a fan of the Georgia Bulldogs. That's how much I love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of that. No more sports talk. No more sports talk. No more. So now that we talked about that, we talked about a little bit of entertainment stuff. You know what time it is. You know what I need to get off my chest. So, anime and manga. For all the cool kids, now's the time where you can go ahead and switch off if you watch this long. Look, yeah, I'm throwing a challenge out there. So, now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some anime. So, I'm not even going to front with you. I caught up to God of High School. I missed the last 2 episodes. I legit thought I missed fucking 3 episodes. Because there was the last episode I saw was when the fucking red bone pitbull looking dude and the dude with the fucking Joker stand with the scythe fought the 2 motherfuckers. And the next episode, somebody died and their wife and child got killed. I was so lost in the sauce when that shit happened. Mori Jin watches a match with this one dude who has his dad's tiger symbol on his back. Dude's got the fucking hand. He literally had Conqueror's hockey and thought that shit was going to work against his opponent. Yo, man, what the fuck? What the hell am I watching right now? But the hands. This not only, after this dude beats the shit out of his opponent, the next scene, it's this dude just walking up to Mori Jin and just seeing what's good with him. And they go at a little sparring match. And that boy Mori Jin said the hardest shit. He's on the ground with a fist in his face and said, "Why'd you stop?" With the fist in his fucking face. Because old boy says, "Why did you stop?" And Mori's got his fucking foot at the back of his head, ready to give that CTE real quick. That's my fucking boy. Baby Goku ain't playing with these hoes. Let me stop before I get to the next episode. Because I found me a new boo. I don't know her name. But she's on the same team as the dude with the tiger on his jacket. And she got the fucking, yo, man, she got that fucking, look, she got some muscle on her. She look like she'll beat the shit out of somebody. All right. I need me a bodyguard. Okay. She was fighting one big ass dude, and all she did was fucking put her fucking foot up, and he damn near ran into her foot, knocked herself out. So she works smarter, not harder. Not too mad at that. Not mad at that at all. The next episode, man, look, that shit was so fucking hype because at the end of this episode, Mori Jin's grandpa is turned out to be kidnapped. Mori Jin goes to his abandoned warehouse, buttfuck middle of nowhere, and he sees it. He tries to save his grandpa. It turns out it's a fake. It's a doppelganger, and this one dude comes out, blows him the fuck up. Mori Jin gets up, bleeding a little bit. He's like, "But my name is Baby Goku, bitch. I can still fucking fight with a little bit of blood on my face, like this old Dragon Ball Z or some shit." So he still gets up, and he's duking it out with old boy, and he says the hardest shit. He says, "For the next hour, I won't feel anything." In the ass whooping that proceeded. Bless the hearts of whoever the fuck these people are. Whoever they are. Because he beats the fuck out of them. And it was the coldest shit in the world, the way that it happened. Because I'm thinking, I don't know if these 2 fights happened at the same time or if he beat the shit out of these 2 dudes in the exact same way. So the whole drama of the episode was the fact that Mori Jin had a match going on while he was while he was saving his grandpa. So, god damn it. I keep forgetting her name. I really do keep forgetting the name. I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best to get better at it. But the lady of the group ends up being the first to unlock Churyuk. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry. So she unlocks it. She's fucking, she gets her sword back. The sword has a new form. And she gets the powers of like this ancient hero. I don't know from what era. I don't know where they're from. I don't know the geography of it. I just know that they're an ancient hero, and she beats the shit out this one dude, this one Ronnie Coleman looking motherfucker in the Speedo, who apparently wasn't the actual dude. Whatever. All right, that's cool. Hands were thrown. That's all you need to know. But the fact that Morgan shows up right as her match ended, and he gets to his match, and he does not hesitate. He beats the shit out this dude. Like there's no bitch in his blood. That's all I got to say. Morgan beat the shit, and they put like a side by side comparison of the ass whooping between both of them, and this boy with the Morgan originals, low dragon kick, twin blue dragon kick, hands. About to let these motherfuckers know. I'm really thinking about reading the webtoons. I'm really thinking about reading the webtoons when they come out, because apparently there's so much more. There's like so much more depth to it than what's being put out in the anime, and I honestly can't stand that. I really don't like when the anime leaves things out, so I'm gonna watch the webtoons. But it is nice to see these fights in motion, especially with how much like. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry about that. So as much, passion is put into the fights, it's really hard for me to, be confident when I say passion, because if you're leaving out a lot of the lore and depth to the story, but you're putting all the emphasis on the passion of the fight, like, in the fights, then how much effort are you truly giving? You know what I mean? How much effort are you giving to the story? That's like putting One Piece fights in the show, but leaving out all the world building, all the side conversations, a little bit of the politics within it. So that's that was just me catching up to God of High School. Still, I think it doesn't have a lot more episodes in it, but I'm enjoying the ride while I'm still on it. I'm trying to be patient for Jujutsu Kaisen. I've tried to read the manga. I think I tried to read it twice, but I keep, my attention span is shit, and I'm just waiting for English dub. So Jujutsu Kaisen's English dub, Vinland Saga's English dub, Glitnir English dub. Waiting for all three of those. As soon as I get them, it's a wrap. Wrap. Done deal. I'm watching the fuck out of them. So the next one I watched, and I'm so glad, random encounter, but a random dude put me onto this one. I'm late to the show. I think this show came out like 2012 or 2014, one of those years. Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron-Blooded Orphans. I have not seen a Mobile Suit Gundam in years. I think the last one, somebody, please tell me the name of this. The last one I've seen was the one where I think a dude was fighting in like these underground Coliseum tournaments, and he starts off with a green hand. That Gundam gets broken, then he gets a new one, and this one has a burning hand, and that's the last fucking thing I remember. Like, the shit was hard. He had like his Gundam's hand would like light on fire. He'll just grab somebody's fucking face and just melt that bitch. That shit used to be hard. But I can't remember anything about it, so you can see how hard it was. You know what my focus was on? Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. I'm a child. And this was on Toonami. What else do you want from me? So, pushing forward about this Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron-Blooded Orphans. Alright. Yo. Let me go ahead and just throw this out there. I gave it my usual anime 3. I do. I gave it the first 3 episodes. That shit had me hooked by the first episode. These boys are not fucking playing. It's like, as somebody who hasn't seen the Mobile Suit Gundam in quite some time, it's got a nice mix of, I'm sorry about that, it has a nice mix of politics, chess games, trying to figure out, move this piece here, this person trying to do this between this, try to work with this faction for this goal right here, and then also has a nice mix of, fuck it, we got some action for your ass, and that shit right there is fucking dope. So I'm gonna try to give a brief synopsis of the show. We'll see how this works out. So please, damn man, this is about to be bad because I can't remember every single person's name. I'm gonna try to look it up real quick. That way I don't give you too much terrible information all at once. So from what I can tell from the show, I just want to look at the cast names real quick, just so I can see who's all on the show. I don't want to see too much. Yeah, just give me the characters. All right. So this I knew. Who the fuck is Kyle McCarthy? All right. I'm so sorry. All right, so in the show, it starts off with this kid named Mikazuki. So on Mars, I'm pretty sure there's a group called CGS that uses these child soldiers to either go out and plant landmines as drills and then go pick them up like the next day, or they have like these child soldiers who they hook up. They get these fucking life-threatening surgeries to inject like the Alea Vinyana system into them, because only kids can use it, because they're not they don't like, you can grow out of it. You can't grow out of the system, but you can get too old to use it. I want to say something to do with the cerebral cortex. I'm gonna get back to that. So these child soldiers are being drilled to, use these mobile workers that have these guns on them. So they're outside practicing with like paint rounds, just, drilling, combating each other, war games. You know how it is. And this is a life that they live against their will. They're obviously fucking disenfranchised, the whole 9 yards. So you have this one kid named Orga. I think he's voiced by Johnny Young Bosch. And Orga is just, you can tell like he's the rebel of the group. But he reminds me of Kamina from Gurren Lagann. It's just he's not as loud and abrasive, because he looks like he's always thinking. He looks like he's always got like the next 3 chess moves thought up, and he's trying to just figure out how he's going to implement those. So the way that the story's going down, I wish I could tell you more about Gallahorn, but I'm still lost in the sauce. I got to go back and fucking figure out the hell's going on with them. But from what I recall, Gallahorn is trying to get after fucking this Berkowitz lady. So Berkowitz is over here trying to fucking, it's not like she's trying to rally the troops, but she's trying to like build this morale. So she goes and visits CGS to have them escort her to Earth. And while they were trying to do that, Gallahorn ends up attacking the CGS because they're trying to kill her. So what happens is the CGS sends, the child soldiers out to go protect them. So the big thing about Orga's group is the fact that like they're the third group. They are the fucking shitbags, apparently. And they try to use them as bait for them to die. So like the top staff of CGS, first group, and all them boys get the fuck on down. Orga, big brain, sat there and said, nah, fam, that's not how we finna do it. So he has one of his boys put fucking flares on their shit and launches the flares as they're trying to get away. So that distracts the Gallahorn's mobile workers to go kill them. But when shit starts looking up for our third group, they brought out the fucking Gundams. So Gallahorn brought 3 Gundam mobile suits down to Mars to like fuck them up. So they were like, oh shit, the situation's not looking too hot, we're fucked up. And that boy Mikazuki, they send Mikazuki on down to go get the mobile suit, and he immediately like picks it up. I think his suit's name is Barbados. Like, yo man, his shit is fucking, he's nice as fuck with it. One thing I like about Mikazuki reminds me of the movie The Town. That scene with Batman and Hawkeye, when Batman just walks in, he's like, yo man, I need to ask you something, but I can't tell you what it is. I can't tell you what we're gonna do. I can't tell you what where we're gonna go. Just know we're gonna hurt people. And the only thing that man says is, whose car we taking? That's what Mikazuki reminds me of. This motherfucker like does not care. If Orga says we gotta do something, he's with it. The second episode, Orga hands him a fucking pistol, and he just says, hell man, we need to go do something. He just picks it up and says, all right, let's go do it. You don't even want to hear about it? No, I don't need to, because you want to do it. The fucking loyalty. I would hate to play against Mikazuki, but I would love to have that motherfucker on the team. That dude right there knows, like, that motherfucker's about his business. I gotta give it to him. He about that action. I ain't here to talk. I ain't here to kick it with you. I'm here to stack these motherfucking bodies, bitch. Let these motherfuckers know something. Damn, man, that boy give me hype. Look, that ain't hard. So, Mikazuki over here fucking, this dude's, he cold as shit. So, by the end of the first episode, the first and the beginning of the second episode, Mikazuki is fighting the mobile suits. He kills one dude, and he's going after like the next dude. He's fighting them 2-on-1, still getting up with them. He's beating them. The only issue is his mobile suit runs out of gas, and they get the fuck on down. He literally makes these experienced mobile suit workers retreat by himself. So the big thing about that is the fact that like one of the dudes is an honorable guy. He doesn't know that he's fighting against child soldiers until he hears Mikazuki speak on the microphone. And when Mikazuki speaks, he's like, hey man, y'all been killing us the whole time, so what makes you think I'm gonna show any mercy? Like, yo, he's hard. He goes hard in this motherfucker. So by the third episode, old boy comes back, and he like, I think either by the end of the second episode or the third episode, he comes back and he just says, yo man, we were supposed to ambush y'all again. I really don't want to do that against kids. Y'all are child soldiers who are being forced to work, forced to fight. I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna issue a challenge. Your mobile suit versus my mobile suit. If I win, the girl comes with me. That's that. Gal home won't come back for you. And Mikazuki's like, but we didn't talk about if I win. And that boy, look, he sat there and said, and I took that personally. Michael Jordan took that personally. He beat the shit out of this dude. This boy lost the fucking stick end of his fucking spear staff, whatever the fuck it is, and still beat the fuck out of him. And yo, this goes to like how hard it is. Maybe it's because I'm getting older. And maybe because I've had to experience Fairy Tail and the power of friendship, or Goku and being all fucking forgiving to people who have literally destroyed majority of the fucking universe. But this boy Mikazuki literally gets out the fucking Mobile Suit Gundam and says, we didn't talk about what happened if I win. And old boy is like, I can't defend myself. I can't do anything. I can't even kill myself. And if I go back empty-handed, then all my people underneath me will get fucking, well, they'll take the brunt of it. So I have to die. So Mikazuki just looks at him. I've heard enough. Pop, pop, pop. He let things fly on his ass. Yo. Y'all can't tell me that boy Mikazuki ain't hard. I'm hooked within the third episode. But this looks like one of those sad, it looks like it's going to be sad as shit. For some reason, nobody looks safe to me. Like, you can tell with an anime when some people look safe. The fact that these motherfuckers, it's got such a dark, mature tone to it. Because I've heard of it before, but I never, like, heard about the story. But it looks so dark in, like, literally the second episode. They put people down. They tie people up to try and establish, like, all right, this is how things are going to be run. If you don't like it, then you're going to die. And they thought it was a game. And Mikazuki, pop, pop, next. Oh, you don't like it? Pop, pop, next. Like, yo, who else wants it? This story, it looks so mature from what I remember of Gundam from the Toonami days. That way, like, I'm excited to see how things continue to go down. I'm so excited for that. So, I can't express how excited I am to continue to watch the show. It's got 2 seasons, so I got a feeling if I cry, look, y'all be the first ones I tell. I'm not even going to front with you. Look, I'm going to let these tears ride on this motherfucking YouTube channel. I want somebody to say something. So, that's it for anime. Those are the only 2 anime that I've seen so far. Because like I said, I try to wait for the English dub on anything. Shout out to Johnny Young Bosch. I legit thought I heard Yuri Lowenthal as Mikazuki, but it turns out to be a kid named Mike McClary. I want to make sure I get his name right. I don't know if it's a kid, it's probably a grown-ass man. But Mike McCarley, shout out to you, because you played the fuck out of Mikazuki within the 3 episodes that I've seen. That boy sounds like a fucking stone cold motherfucking killer. Like, he out here ready to get shit done. And I think I also heard the guy who plays Eren from Attack on Titan and he plays the Beast Kid from Demon Slayer. I should really remember these names. It's just been so long since I've watched Demon Slayer or read the manga, because I finished the manga. It's been so long, I damn near forgot almost all the names. So I'm going to remember it by the time Demon Slayer comes back out, or whenever the movie gets an English dub. Pushing on. Let's get into some manga. So I'm going to go ahead. You know how I like to do. So I'm going to get the long part out the way first, and then we're going to follow up with the shorter one. So I'm going to go over the previous chapter of My Hero Academia, because a new chapter didn't come out on Sunday. And I'm not going to go over Black Clover, because I'd rather go over, like, the whole span of the thing. So, like, from the backstory that we get with Asta's demon to the current, like, where we're at in the fight that came out last week, and then maybe the climax of the fight next week. I'm going to go over all 3 of those, because they all flow seamlessly into one another, obviously. But it's one of those things where, like, it's very interesting to talk about, because now I have a theory of where does Asta has no magic, but yet he can use weapons that have anti-magic with them. So where does that come from? Is that coming from the demon, or is that just an offset of somebody from potentially Austin's past? We'll talk about that next time. So with this time though, what we're gonna talk about is we gotta talk about this kingdom. Yo, so a lot went down, and I went ahead and looked it up. I didn't spoil anything for myself, but it looked like the first arc is from chapters 1 to chapters 40. So obviously, I'm not finna go from fucking chapter 5 to chapter 40 like that. What I am gonna do is I'm just gonna take it nice and slow. That way I can dissect as much as possible, and I can, take in the story without missing too much. So I went ahead and read from chapter 6 to chapter 16. So I got a good 10 chapters in. I'm probably gonna stick with that method right there. So let's go ahead and get into a little bit of those. So we picked up with alright, so Change the Rapper. Can't pronounce his name. So Change the Rapper is out in the field, and he notices Haku number 1 fighting against Red X, and he's like, damn man, he really looks like the king. So he enlists him to go ahead and be the king's, he to be killed. Basically, he's literally, he's not the Trojan horse, but he's the doppelganger for the king. That's what they use him for. So when Haku number 2, King Haku, whatever the fuck you want to call him, explains that to Red X. Red X gets pissed because he's like, my friend's life was minimized to just a concept. He's like, yeah, the words specifically was a remote possibility. So he's pissed that his friend was minimized to that. So he just starts beating the shit out the king. That's what he thinks. And so King Haku literally catches this bitch in midair and just holds him up. He literally holds him up like, well, I'm doing the fucking Big Show thing. But he just catches this motherfucker, ready to chokeslam him like the Undertaker when the lights come back on. Like the shit was fucking, I'm not even gonna lie, I was shocked by it. So once he tells him like, yo man, I need you to get over that shit. Shit's popping off left and right. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. So Red X eventually gets over it. Once again, I gotta condense everything now. He gets over it. He continues to ride with the king, and Krillin, Krillin or OVO Owl, as I'm gonna start calling him, is he's on the side. He sees everything. He's just there for some money. That's all he cares about. Turns out King ain't got no money. Kind of hard to have money when I don't have a kingdom, homie. You see how it works? So he's like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna keep riding with you until you get you some money. Then you can fucking give me the money. So they end up leaving the caves. They escape, and they're trying to run their way through the forest while they're being chased by this fucking Dr. Octopus looking motherfucker with literally, he looks like a fucking a walking square with a face with a bunch of scarves. It's weird. So he's chasing after them. He's supposed to be like this deadly, not the deadly assassin, but he's supposed to be this great hunter or whatever. I don't know what the fuck he is, but his name is Muta or whatever it is. Dr. Octopus. So he's chasing after them while the kids are running. Red X ends up passing out because he's exhausted. He has legit been running for like over a day and some change. And then he had to get into like this huge fight for his life. And he's still like going through such an emotional turmoil, having lost his best friend within the past 24 hours. Completely understandable. King Haku ends up picking him up and then carrying him on down the way. So the boys are still running and running. Meanwhile, over where fucking Damian Wayne is, we end up getting a revelation that the sexiest lips in anime history and manga history, General Schoolboy Q, was the one to fucking kill Change the Rapper. It's wild. So we're like, oh shit, now the king truly, like King Haku has no help now. He's all alone. So by the next episode, look. Yeah, so they sent like old boy with the man bun to go ahead and chase after them. He's running through the forest, and I guess like they show how dangerous he is because he literally like pulls out a tiger jumps out at him. He pulls out a blowgun. 1, 2, tiger's down for the count, throwing up blood. Keeps on down about his way. So as they're running, King Haku, Red X, and OVO Owl end up making it to a summer retreat where they go ahead and they post up there. And the king goes over how this place was built by the mountain people. So OVO Owl's people built this place for a king from 400 years ago named Duke Mu. Duke Nukem, and they love Duke Nukem so much because he was a benevolent king. Even when the mountain people killed and ate a war horse that belonged to the king, he didn't retaliate with anger, with rage, with destruction. He gave him some good Everclear to go well with the horses. I don't know if he did that shit because he knew Everclear went well with horses. I don't know if he did that shit because he thought he didn't like them, and Everclear is Everclear, but the mountain people are rough and ragged, so they don't know the difference. Whatever. They end up loving him forever. Built him a nice home that's in between the mountain people, the summer home, and then I think the capital of Quinn. There's no U. Whatever. So pushing on. Let me see where else we at. Oh man. So after they explain all that, OVO is, he's very, it looks like he's very proud of the story that he's being told. So he seems excited about that. Next thing you know, it's OVO outside, and fucking Schnitzel from Chowder shows up with his fucking scars, and he's about to kill him. Where Red X comes out, saves his life, and then they start going at it. While those two are going at it, back in the fucking kingdom, Change the Rapper is being, not Change the Rapper, fucking General Schoolboy Q is being, questioned as to the story, what happened, how Change the Rapper died. He tells the story, he just looks like he's fucking lying, but he reveals what his motivation is. All he gives a fuck about is bloodshed, war and mayhem. That's all he cares about. And, at least he's honest about how he feels. So, you can appreciate that just a little bit. So, pushing forward. See, look, I'm still trying to get through it. It was a lot to dissect within these chapters. So, where are we at? So as we get back to Schnitzel and Red X, Dr. Octopus, whatever you want to call him, Red X and Dr. Octopus, they're still fighting. The king comes out, he looks at him, he posts up, he's like, yo, do you need any help? Red X is like, nah, man, I got this. Nah, he don't got this. He's getting beat because Dr. Octopus has this intensity to it. What it reminds me of is like a killing intent that you can sense. Like it's drawn with a dark aura around it, right? And what it reminded me of was, I don't know if y'all remember this, but Naruto. Y'all remember when we first saw Orochimaru versus Sasuke and Sakura? And the very first thing they thought of was like, you saw a panel or in the show, they showed like kunai straight through the fucking forehead. Like when they locked eyes with this dude, they knew for a fact that he was going to kill them. That's like the type of sense that you got from it. So Red X got that same sense from him, and he was fighting to defend, and he wasn't fighting to attack. So you could see, Dr. Octopus had the front, he had the leg up in the fight. Where Hokage Haku steps in and he's like, don't be a bitch. Get that bitch out your blood. You ain't got it. You never had it. Your friend said you never had it, so why you acting like you have it now? So he gives him that riveting speech, and Red X is like, you right. I ain't got no bitch in my blood. And he beats the shit out of Dr. Octopus, right? So once Dr. Octopus is literally down, guess who shows up? Change the motherfucking Rapper. Change the Rapper is back, and he's like, what the fuck do you think you're doing to my king, bitch? And he's standing over him, slices his ass down, makes a beeline for the king. And you think, oh, okay, Red X is about to have like this fucking moment with him or something. Hell no, fuck that kid. Walked right past him and literally just went to the king, dropped down to his knees, and he just starts crying, saying how much he appreciates that he is alive. So, it was a nice, heartwarming thing to see that. Once again, fuck that other kid. This kid is important. All right. Where are we at now? Look, it was a lot to try and figure out over here. So, here we go. So, what ended up happening, so while Change the Rapper's alive, the king asked him immediately. He was like, so how come our plan ended in failure? So, it turns out, when Change the Rapper was escorting Haku number 1 out of the palace to try and keep him alive, because he was posing as the king, General Schoolboy Q, General Q Dog, ended up fucking coming out of nowhere and ambushed them. So Change the Rapper was like, bet, bitch, don't worry about it, because we got an ambush for your ambush. And then General Schoolboy Q was like, bet, bitch, we got an ambush for your ambush for your ambush. So that turned out to be a big ass ordeal. And as the soldiers were losing morale, and started losing the fight, our boy Haku number 1 jumps out the motherfucking back of the whip, and he immediately joins the fight. And because he's posing as the king, he uses the image of the king joining the fight, like leading from the front. And that right there was enough to reinvigorate the troops, get that morale back going, and then go out and start kicking ass. And then from there, Change the Rapper falls down a big ass cliff. General Q Dog thinks he's dead. He's not dead, because guess what? He's back with the boys. Or whatever. Something like that. Turns out General Q Dog lied. Once again, he literally has that Hisoka look to him, where he's just here to fuck shit up. I'm just here to stack bodies, bitch. I don't really care about none of that. Like, he's giving that Kenpachi vibe where he literally just wants to fight. He don't care who he fights. He just wants to fight. So the next big thing, and this is another, chess piece right here. So we have another fucking political match going on where the king, King Haku's banking on this dude named Chancellor Lu to come through for him. So Chancellor Lu ends up not coming through for him because he's using this opportunity he's waiting it out. So we know that a rumor went around that the king's younger brother rose up against the king. So what's ended up happening, now that the king is not at the throne room, it can be assumed that he's dead, since Haku 1 is dead. So now everybody thinks the king is dead. What Chancellor Lu is about to do, he's about to go ahead and declare war and get revenge for the king against the king's younger brother, thus getting the people's love and admiration for him on his side. So should he win, they're immediately going to go to him and make him the king. Big brain moves over here. Big brain moves. So I'm not even gonna lie, that's a pretty good fucking plan. So Red X, after years, he's inspired about what he heard Haku number 1 did, especially how passionate he continues to be about their goal, their dreams about being the greatest generals under, with their names being spread all over, under the heavens, something along those lines. He says, all right, bet. He literally has a big brain moment for his character where he just goes up to King Hokage Haku and says, how do I become a general? Explain the process. And they tell him, all right, because you're less than a servant, you don't even have you don't belong to a family, you don't have any land, you're not even good enough to be a soldier. So he's like, all right, bet. So when I get you to your palace, you're going to give me land. You're going to give me a house, and I'll be able to, be a regular soldier and then just climb up from there. But obviously, we know he's the main character, so he's going to be able to, shoot up that bitch. Because he's damn near the right hand of the... Well, I'd say he's the left hand of the king, because Change the Rapper is the right hand. So, we got what we got right now. So, the last thing we left off was we got a little bit more of an explanation about the mountain people. Because it turns out the mountain people are very feared because of how savage they are during, any fight. So it turned out that we get some more story about Duke Nukem. So King Duke Nukem once, I'm so sorry. So there's another nation of Jin. So there's a neighboring nation that was going through this terrible drought. So what King Duke Nukem did is he sent a bunch of provisions on down the way, down the river, just to get to them out of the kindness of his heart because he's benevolent. But when Duke Nukem's nation, our nation that we're in with the main story, went through this big famine, the neighboring nation tried to invade them instead of, returning the kindness. So Duke Nukem's troops, they did their best to try and fight them off. They were good at first. They had more skill, better tactics. They just didn't have any food. So obviously they were hungry. It was literally like Stannis the Manus from fucking Game of Thrones, that situation with him and my smuggler boy, whose name I can't remember. Davos. No, not Davos. I think it was Davos because I was so happy he lived. So that kind of situation right there where they were being starved out and still had to fight. Whereas the mountain people comes in because they have so much love for Duke Nukem. They said, fuck it. They sent 300 of their boys with the mask on and the weapons ready to go. And they went after anybody around them. And the thing that scared everybody from fucking allies to enemies was how savage that they were. It looked like they were cannibalizing these motherfuckers. There's a panel of this dude biting the shit out of somebody. Yo, hell no, I wouldn't want to fucking fight a cannibal. No. Fuck all that. So, I'm sorry. By the end of the chapter, we ended up seeing that they're going up the mountain, and at the same time they're being stalked by mountain people. So they don't know where they stand with the mountain people after all this time. It's been 400 years, but the mountain people have been taking care of the summer retreat home. They still keep it up. So we'll see where that leads them. Because I think they're not on bad terms with them. I think there is going to be like a layer of mistrust because of the lack of communication between the two kingdoms. So I'm really enjoying Kingdom. I really am, because like it's giving me this and Mobile Suit Gundam. It's giving me a really nice mix of like war, tactics, politics, and just these intercharacter drama. And it's just really exciting to watch something like that and have something back in your life, because Game of Thrones fucked me over. So something like that. Moving on. So, ooh, buddy, man, I'm fucking killing y'all eardrums today. I am killing you. I had to go hard for episode fucking 7. I was about to talk about Final Fantasy 7 on this one, but there really wasn't a place for me to talk about it, especially with my experience with Final Fantasy 7. I'll probably save that for like a different video. Probably, maybe. We'll see how I feel. So, what else happened? Let me go ahead and get you another manga to talk about. So, let's go ahead. I think the next, I'm going to talk about like 3 more mangas. So, I got One Piece. We got a little bit of Chainsaw Man action. We got My Hero Academia. Just because those are like the biggest things to pop off over the weekend, right? So, let's go ahead and get into Dragon Ball Super. There is a reason why, like, man, I'm trying to take Dragon Ball Super with a grain of salt. I'm really trying. Because all I do is I just read it like this. I just watch it like this. Like, bonehead moves. I can't put all the blame on Toyotaru. I really can't. I cannot do it, because he's not the only one writing it. Akira Toriyama literally has his name on the front cover page as well. All the decisions are being made through Akira Toriyama. So I can't be mad at that. Last time we saw, like, the last Dragon Ball Super chapter, Goku was over here beating shit out of Moro, and then he's like, alright, bet, I'm gonna fight him as Earthling now. Literally in this chapter, he's like, give up. Please give up. If you give up and just go back to jail, I won't kill you. Ooh, Dragon Ball GT Goku is rolling in his grave right now. Rolling. So he's trying his best to spare Moro his life and trying to convince him not to fight anymore. Moro's like, fuck all of that bullshit. But the thing that killed me was the fact that we got a little bit of a Dragon Ball Z flashback where Goku gives fucking Moro a goddamn senzu bean for some fucking reason. And he replenishes his stamina. Goku's so confident in his ability to beat Moro that he literally gets out of Ultra Instinct, back base form. And he's just talking to him. He's like, man, look, you would really be cold as shit if you fucking trained. If you literally put in the work to practice and not just steal powers, you would be a fucking problem to deal with. He's literally giving enemies advice. What the fuck is... You won't even give your sons advice no more. What the fuck you giving enemies advice for? Like, the crack cocaine is real in Chi-Chi's house. I don't know what the fuck she's feeding him at this point. So... he's like, he's legit having a therapy session with somebody he needs to kill yesterday. It's somebody who literally just put his fucking spiky ass nails through his fucking chest not even an hour ago. And he's here, like, he's just trying to fucking talk to him a little bit and, vent to him and talk about his feelings and shit. Beerus, Whis, Jocko, Krillin, Dende are all like, fucking kill him. Please. Please kill him so we can go home. Please. And Goku's just not doing it. So Moro gets time to sit, calm down, assess the situation, and he finds his hand. Turns out his hand is the one that touched the back of Miras's neck, that nape where the fucking Titan shifter's sitting. And he grabs the back of his that hand over there, puts that bitch back on, and up, fur turns white. Now he has Ultra Instinct. Goku's not tripping too hard. Goku's like, man, you don't really seem that tough. Up, dodge, still beating the shit out of him. All well, fine and good. Like, literally, this dude Moro breaks his fucking hand trying to stab Goku again. The panel was hard. The situation was dumb. So, the next few things that happen is the fact that because Moro's body is not prepared for this level of power, it's like Tetsuo from Akira, however you pronounce it. and it's like trying to expand to be able to encapsulate this power, trying to like grow and things such as that. So Moro's literally torturing. He's in a lot of pain. So Goku's beating the shit, like he beats the shit out of him with a couple of hits, and Moro's on the ground. He's like, I need a body big enough to be able to sustain all this power. So he ends up fusing with the earth. So now Goku is like, the chapter ends with Goku being stuck in a situation where he has to choose like how he's gonna take care of Moro. If he kills Moro, that means the end of the earth. Earth is dead. If not, then they're dead. And Moro wins. He's in a win-win situation for right now. We do remember that Vegeta has like a fucking spirit diffusion technique. We do remember that Whis can literally travel, like he can rewind time 10 seconds, should he so choose to. I don't see why he wouldn't, because if they destroy the earth, no food for Beerus and Whis, those two are going to be pissed. And, things are going to go down like that. It's like, the drama was there because Moro had magic and we didn't know what the fuck magic, like how strong the magic was going to be from Moro. I think we saw it with like Bibbidi and Bobbidi, but we didn't see anything after that. So, and it was cool seeing Moro have copy powers, kind of similar to Majin Buu with the absorption, where he could just use somebody else's strength and abilities and shit like that. But now we're at the point where we hit the climax and everything should be going downhill. At this point, like, I feel like this is something to try and prolong the arc, trying to make it a little bit longer, try to build a little bit more tension. It's kind of hard to do that. So I have a theory. You can go ahead and click off this video if you want to, because you know how I am with my theory. So I'm at the point where I would rather see Goku, Vegeta, Goten, Trunks, because those two need love, Gohan. Those five right there, and Piccolo, just because Piccolo's pretty cool. Maybe just bring like, the strongest ones. I take it back. Android 17 and 18 have to stay to protect the Earth, but Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Piccolo, just put them in a whole nother universe. Let them go and explore the different universes that were exempt from the Tournament of Power because they're already powerful. Put them in a whole new situation with a whole new level of power scaling to deal with. Like, they've already emphasized how weak the other universes were that participated in the Tournament of Power, like, beforehand. So let that be like how weak the universe itself is. So when they go to a whole new place, now you basically like reset everything. You have like a much more clean slate to work with. I might be all over the place with it, but it's something. It's something better than giving another fucking enemy a goddamn sensu bean. I'll say that. So I'd like to see Goku, Vegeta, and like just in a whole new area. That way they have to rely on tactics. They have to think their way through a fight like they once had to. Like, Dragon Ball was about martial arts and shit. Let it be about don't let it be about martial arts, but let's reestablish some more thinking, some more strategy into Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball franchise. So I'm done ranting about that. No more. So let's get a little bit of positivity going. Let's get into some My Hero Academia, right? So with My Hero Academia, we get a mysterious figure who is trying to hurry up and get to the battlefield. From what I've seen, a lot of people say they think it's Best Genius. Cage also thinks it's Best Genius. So, I'm really glad Hawks didn't knock him off. But I don't know what he's going to bring to the fight, and I don't know what kind of revelations he's going to bring with him. But it is extremely good to know that a fucking top 5 hero is about to show up to try and get them the fuck out of Dodge. Because like I said, we don't know what Shiggy's gonna do next. We don't know if he can still move. Endeavor's down, Deku's down, Bakugo's down, Todoroki's up, Shock Lock, whatever the fuck his name is, he's still up. So heroes don't really have too much. They got 2. That's it. 12. So they're in a little bit of trouble. So we end up seeing I want to say it's the city of Jakku, and they're being, everybody's in a panic because Gigantomachia is this big fucking walking devastation just rampaging through. And we see the League of Villains that are just watching everything go along, and they're watching through like a satellite image of the heroes, how they're trying to do their best to save everybody. Where Toga gets involved and she ends up seeing Ochako and Froppy running along trying to work together to save as many people as possible. So what ends up happening is fucking Skimmer, whatever the fuck his name is, the Stain, cosplayer, he gives like a little heart to heart where he says, yo, I know we do what we want because we're villains, but please come back to us. And really emphasizes like the familial structure, like how they all look at each other like with such closeness, with this closeness, where he's like, yo, just please come back to us. Please. That's all we ask. So Toga goes and she goes to go talk, get a smooth talk no jutsu from fucking Ochako. So before, actually, no, I'm gonna go ahead and get through it before I get my thoughts on that. So Ochako and Froppy are using their, their teamwork to save as many people as possible. And Ochako is still like, she's able to use her powers to save the shit out of Froppy and these civilians that she's trying to work with. But she ends up hearing somebody that's like down an alley that's crying out for help. When she goes to check it out, it turns out to be Toga. And when Toga sees her, she tricks her, goes into like this little house, and Toga ends up jumping out at her, and she gets on top of her. And like my thing with the thing I love about Ochako is that even though Toga's got a knife, like she's got her knife point, she jumped on top of her, Ochako's still talking like she's in control of the situation. She's very calm. She's very confident. She's so in control, so much more so than what we originally saw her as. And that just shows how her prowess as a hand-to-hand fighter is getting better and better. Where a fucking villain with a knife isn't a threat to you right now. Like, she says, if you get in my way, I will arrest you. Which she's already gotten in your way, and you should already arrest her. But, a talk no jutsu's coming. So my rap beef with things like this, it's like the way that I'm perceiving Toga right now, this is just my perception of things. It's like she has that same, oh, you're not going to do anything to me because you're a hero type of thing, where as a hero, you are supposed to save lives. That is your job. You save lives. You don't have to do anything else. Where that would have worked if this was the fucking 30s, 40s, 50s. Nah, look, 30s all the way up to the fucking 70s. Nah, man. Once the 80s hit, that shit is dead. Batman said that shit in Batman Begins. Hey, look, I'm not gonna kill you. I have to say you though. So it really does confuse me as to like what makes Toga so naive to where she can just run amok, run free, hurt as many people as she wants, but the heroes are going to bend over backwards to save her. And maybe that's because, she knows, like, she can already sense what kind of person Deku is, because that's exactly what we're asking of Deku. Literally, Shigaraki has killed so many people. He's wiped out an entire city fighting somebody, and now he's killed a bunch of heroes. He killed fucking Crust, and Deku still tries to save him. That's just the type of person that he is. He's like, what's a good way to put this? He's not at that level of, he's not like Batman, where he's trying to he just keeps stopping him, where it just like, it seems like it's going to be endless. No matter how many people Shigaraki kills, Deku's going to just be there to stop him. Nah, this is more like, he's just living up to that role, like to that level of, nobility as a hero. Like he is a noble hero. He's a very honorable person. It's just, it seems a little naive, especially when you have, people who killed to this level. But as somebody with literally a Spider-Man and Batman tattoo, kind of hypocritical for me to say. I don't know. This is just, this is me just thinking out loud at this point, because I don't like the way Toga's going about this. You guys have a history of attacking people. You've attacked them before. Like, you can't expect these young learning kids to still just, be patient and all that. Especially motherfucking Deku, with all the shit he's going through. He ain't about to be the same. He's still gonna be the world's greatest hero. I think he's gonna come out the funk, but I think he's gonna go through a little bit of something mentally after this big arc, because a lot of lives have been lost. A whole lot. A lot of casualties. Like, the casualties are stacking up. The Hero Society, I think by the end of this arc, has fallen. I think Shigaraki will be successful, where the Hero Society as a majority will be doing, diminished. And the Hero Society will crumble, where, I still think Dabi's going to reveal, him being Todoroki or Shoto's brother or something along those lines, but another victim of All Might's abuse. Not All Might, but Endeavor's abuse. So we still got a lot to go with this arc. We don't have, it's not going to end anytime soon, but it's the fact that so much is still going on. So a lot to be excited about with that. So the next thing we're going to get into, this is going to be the last thing we talk about. Let me make sure I got this ready for you. Woo, buddy, look, I want to say I'm sorry for the long episode. I personally prefer longer podcasts that I enjoy listening to. I hope you like listening to this. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to make sure I got this pulled up because I want to make sure I reference everything appropriately. So we got the cover story, longest cover story ever, where it looks like Lola finally gets married. Lola from Thriller Bark, where she first tried to marry Luffy, and then I think Sanji, and then no, it was Absalom, then Luffy, then Sanji, something along those lines. She finally gets married to Gotti, and everybody's there, everybody's celebrating. Don't really care about cover story, like this cover story too much, so I'm not gonna stay on it too much. What we end up seeing is that there's this giant fire festival going on. So back in Wano, in the capital, for those who aren't being oppressed with the smiles, who are forced to only smile, there's still so much oppression going on everywhere else. But there's a fire festival going on where people are celebrating just that one thought of freedom, the freedom that they once enjoyed, how they're going to return to it, because they're just hoping one day, we are going to regain our freedom. We're going to be free of Kaido. We're going to be free of fucking look, that ugly motherfucker with the buck teeth, Timmy Turner, whatever the fuck his name was. And we're just going to return to what we were. And you even see, like, I want to say this is a giant balloon of Odin. Yeah, it looks like Odin to me. Like, they couldn't get his hair right, but it looks similar. So they're just showing how they're just dancing and singing and enjoying themselves because of the thought of hope. Hope is there. It's damn near condensed to this one day. They have all these other days of oppression. They can only feel hopeful for this one day. Like, yo, man. And it really is. It's nice to watch them find a reason to celebrate, and for these people to smile naturally because they genuinely feel happy with hope. Where we push on, we end up seeing Zoro and Diaz Drake, X-Lax, 6-Lack. So we see them two together, and it turns out that Queen has these fucking, I want to say these demon rounds, so he's turning people into ice demons. So he's flexing those big brain science muscles and shit. So, hey, look, we got a demon ourselves, homie. Zoro's got that fucking demon aura to him, so I really do hope we end up seeing that again. I don't think it's gonna happen, but the fact that Queen is turning people into ice demons, I'm not too stressed over it because, you know, my boy Sanji with the Diablo Jamba, real quick. Everybody's got hockey, so I don't think it's one of those, or at least the stronger ones have hockey, where it's devastating is the fact that they're losing men. And now that they're telling people to close the doors, they're trying to trap the men as much as possible to infect as many men as possible. I think that's how it looks like it works. The next thing we end up seeing, we get a nice map that shows exactly where Luffy is. Luffy's currently in the first basement, so he's climbing up. It looks like he might end up reaching the top where the battle's going on by like chapter 1000, because we know Oda really wants to get to that. So while he's running and fighting, Sanji shows up, and we get a dope ass party table with the double Diablo Jamba, kicking the shit out of everybody, burning everybody up. You know how my boy does it. And then we get this weird fucking small user that can like turn his hand into a gorilla entirely, which honestly doesn't sound too bad, because if you can turn both of them into a gorilla, you know, 2 hands become 4 hands. 4 hands are actually gorilla hands. Gorilla hands are a problem. I remember seeing that video of a dude getting dragged like it was nothing by a gorilla. So I kind of wouldn't want to fight that. But it's One Piece, so obviously they wouldn't be too much of an issue. So while Luffy and Sanji are literally beefing over who's going to take out the gorilla dude, fucking Jinbei shows up and he takes him out immediately. And Sanji gets in his face and he's like, nah, man, I was going to take him out. I don't really think too much of it. I think it's a little bit of a comedic moment, because we know when there's comedy, the drama's about to spike up. Sometimes. So, in this chapter, we go ahead and we push on. We see like there's a cat with a little eye thing on top of it. Demon Slayer spoilers. For those who don't know, they actually use something very similar to this in Demon Slayer as a way to like surveil a battlefield. I'm not going to tell you when. I'm not going to tell you who. I'm not going to tell you why. But they use a very similar technique, and that's what I recognize this from. I don't know if they use this in anything else. But this is a show that has like cameras and TVs and all types of stuff. So the fact that they use like something like this and I don't even think this is a devil fruit. So, it's pretty cool to see. We end up seeing King over here, big braining it out, trying to, chess piece his moves together. And he's like, all right, all we got to do is find Momonosuke. We go ahead, we kill Momonosuke. Samurais lose all their fucking morale. Bing, bam, boom, the king is dead. Chess match over. Checkmate, bitch. So that's their plan of action. We end up seeing fucking... I want to say Shinobu. Yeah, Shinobu has Momonosuke and they're still running away from Yamato. Big blow up thing goes down. Fucking... Now... Shinobu, she's a real one because she takes some arrows to the back to protect Momonosuke, and now Momonosuke is like he's having this fucking internal conflict because he's like, what would a shogun do? Would a shogun run? Would he like stand and fight? Because he knows he can't continue to be saved by all these other people. He can't do it. He has to step up as a leader, and this is just a child who's thinking about that. So that's pretty impressive on his behalf to try and grow. So we end up seeing Yamato stepping up to fight. It looks like the Fishman, dude. I really need to get better about names. I'm gonna continue to work on it. So many different manga, so many different anime, so many different shows, so many different names. I'm sorry. Patience. Be patient with me. I got this. Episode 7. I'm getting better. Damn it. So what we end up seeing is fucking Kaido's on the ground and all the samurai are like, yo man, we need to go ahead and sever his windpipe. We need to go ahead and take him out like right fucking meow. And Kaido, no shit, somebody said this perfectly in the comment section. I can't remember who. Shout out to you if you said it, the original person. They said when Kaido gets up, it's legitimately like when Thanos looked at Tony Stark and said, all that for a drop of blood. Ooh, shit. My heart, my chest. What's all this depression and despair that I feel right now? So Kaido gets up and he says, put some fucking respect on my name. Y'all boys are nice. Y'all boys got some skill. I'll give you that. You're strong. I can't deny that. You're not as strong as him. You will never be as strong as him. They cut him. Kaido is bleeding, but they said, you can't even reopen my wound. My wound still aches just thinking about Odin. Like you can see, we get a little bit of a flashback where it looks like Kaido kind of regrets the way that his fight ended between him and Odin. But he has a huge scar that still hasn't healed. And as somebody who wants to die, I think that's pretty fucking important for us to pay attention to later on. But he's like, yo man, I'm about to let y'all know how y'all fucked up. So Kaido looks like he's about to, he's getting up still in dragon form. And he legitimately turns into a goddamn avatar. Because he went from fucking shooting lightning at people, Fire Nation style, to now he went air nomad. And he's like sending fucking wind sight jutsu at bitches. No shit. He pulled a Tamari and an Aang all at once. So he ends up shooting wind slashes. And the first victim we got is Kiku. So Kiku ends up losing her arm. It looks like, she loses from like the shoulder down. That comes off. And the heartbreaking part is when we see everybody's reaction to it, especially Kiku's wide-eyed reaction. So, like I said, a little bit of comedy, whole lot of drama. So, Avatar Kaido said, put some fucking respect on my motherfucking name. Avatar Kyoshi taught me this shit. So, he's on the comeback to try and, win. I think by the time Luffy gets to the battlefield, the samurai are going to be done. The samurai are down and out for the count. I don't think we're going to get a Luffy versus Kaido 1v1 though. I don't know. Something's telling me, because Big Mom is still around. That's why I'm like, nah. I don't know if we're going to only see Luffy versus Kaido. I think all the captains are going to convene again. Because you remember how it was like Luffy and Law versus Doflamingo before Luffy went Gear 4th. I think we're going to get something along those lines where it's going to take Luffy, Law, Kid versus Kaido. And then Big Mom's going to show back up. Like, obviously, what Mr. Morge say, Onigashima raid will end in a failure. 100%. Like, I think where we see the Straw Hats are best are when their backs are against the wall. Whenever the situation looks dire, it looks like they're going to have to pull something out of their ass. They always do. They always find a way to win. And that's where we see them at their best. So, with that being said, that's it. Episode 7. Episode VII. Done. So, obviously, I like to extend an apology. I really do apologize for the video. I really am sorry about that. I'm gonna try to just I'm probably just gonna cut out the video maybe entirely. I'm still on the fence about that. I might just go ahead and just like, you know, show you a little bit, snippet, and then by the end of the video it's just gonna be fucking one screen. I'm on the fence about that. I'd like to apologize once again because of how unprofessional that is, and that's all on me as the only person here. But I'm gonna try and do better about that. What I would like to say is I do greatly appreciate you sitting with me. I appreciate you being here for this video. Like, yo, man, if you stuck it out for such a long time, I gotta say thank you. Shout out to one of my producers, my brother-in-law. Like, y'all don't know our relationship, but shout out to you, Jordan. I appreciate you watching the podcast. Yo, man, thank you for the interaction. Thank you to anybody who's watching this. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Please come in. No hesitation. Don't be afraid to come down to the altar and join the family. All you gotta do is hit that subscribe button over there, drop you a like, and hit that little bell for the notifications, and you're already part of the family. Just feel free to comment. You know how we are. We always try to have discussions. We don't try to talk at one another because we know how to effectively communicate with one another. Family vibes. Family. So that's all I got for today. I'm going to try my best to get back on our regular schedule, and I might have something special for you coming up. We'll see how the weather treats us over here around these parts. But I would like to say, go forth, do great things, go be safe, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Take it easy.